Hello, everybody. Welcome back to So You Want to Be an Art Director. This is tip number 4. Tip number 4, share your power. Engagement is a vitally important factor to how far your artists are ready to push the idea. Not only will they explore the topic more and produce better results when they own it, but also they'll feel better about themselves and their involvement in the project. The power you have is only as good as the value you can bring to the table by using it. All right, so time for me to kind of share some of my experience on this. And as usual, I agree to what Remy is talking about here, and it's a great tip for any new art director coming into the scene. So, all right, so let me share with you my experience on this topic. We use something called Miro a lot. Miro. During pre-pro, our team, we would spin up a new board and we would have the artists go blue sky on things we either couldn't do the previous year or things we want to improve for the game feature or game mode. This is where we really get to see the artists shine. They bring their fresh ideas, and at the beginning there's always just tons of ideas, right? And that's what blue sky is all about. It's about just going wild, right? I will throw out a number, for example, 10 ideas. There'll be 10 ideas on a specific game feature. We then, after everybody has a chance to kind of share, right? We go through like a whole sharing process where it's almost like a little mini presentation of your idea to give more context. And then we would do like a quick vote. And we would vote and start to filter down one or two ideas that we think have the best shot at being selected for production. And then as we filter through the ideas, we don't limit who can contribute to the idea. So for example, let's say there was 10 ideas. We've now narrowed it down to 2 ideas. We don't just say, hey, the 2 people who contributed to that idea, only you move forward with pushing that idea, right? No, we actually have the artists, the other artists who maybe contributed some ideas early on. They might have now ideas on how to improve someone else's idea. And so we start to build on top of that, the 1 or 2 ideas. And then so they'll start chipping in and they'll add their own spin to it. And this is awesome in terms of collaboration process. It really brings the artists together. And in my personal opinion, my favorite part of the whole production cycle. So after we've gone through this filtering process and we've kind of started to narrow down and have a pretty good presentation of what it is that we want to pitch, we then actually go and pitch that to the producers and the game directors. But just the passion everyone brings to the table because they feel so involved is the reason why pre-pro is such a fun time every year, and it's everyone's favorite part of the cycle. I see a huge difference when an artist takes something from beginning to end versus jumping in during middle or only touching the end of something in its production. And that makes sense. They haven't had time to invest the energy and build the connection with what they are working on. But man, when they get to see the final product and remember the journey, it goes a long way. On our team, I make sure everyone owns something that is part of the game. The amount of pride that gives them, especially when their game mode or feature gets brought up in a presentation, team-wide, or through public announcements, like they'll see it in a trailer, it is priceless. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. I'll see you all again next time.